that's my first impressions of this particular character. So trying to do it all, and I can't help but think it's a big metaphor that pretty soon it's all going to come tumbling down. So how can you be in love with money this much, or status, and not be so aware that you're on the verge of having your credit cards declined? I'm curious what else this guy's not been paying attention to, or what he has his focus on. I just had a reaction over, like, he is in the negative. And that's a lot of money. And granted, this is euros. So last time I checked, it is equivalent to US dollars, but man, that's still a lot of money. What is happening? Okay, so, okay. I'm not quite sure what he's spending his money on, but it looks like at this rate, he's not going to be able to afford next month's rent. Yeah, this is like critical. It is a house of cards, and the cards are a little bit on fire. So I'm worried for him. I really want to see what else this guy finances says about him, and what else is going on. It does seem he's playing a game of status. I do get the sense he might be a con artist. I don't know what it is. I get a gut feeling that he's not being on the up and up. It seems like not only money does this guy really care about, he not only needs to show how much money he has, but he needs to do it in a way that is signaling to the generational wealth in possibly this neighborhood that he's moved to. What I'm also intrigued by is it's his role to be the money guy. It's his role, most likely as the man or the husband, to just like, let me handle the bills, let me handle the money. I'm the one that earns it. I'm the one that's responsible to make sure we're okay on that front. And the wife, of course, is trying to be a supportive spouse and is trying to engage with him and communicate with him on this very, very vulnerable thing, which is money. And she really wants to participate. She really wants this to be like a team effort type of thing. But obviously, it seems like it's a very sensitive subject for him, that he can't handle it on his own. But he seems to have very interesting views on what a wife should be. Seems like a mother shouldn't occasionally drink. A mother shouldn't deviate from her wifely and motherly duties. And a mother should never be sexy or want to have sex or find her husband attractive in some way, which is weird. He has interesting views on gender roles from what I could tell. Also, I can't help but notice it is a holiday episode, and holidays and money are very interesting. I find that stressors, every kind of stressor happens with the holidays. That was normally, like when I used to work at schools, that was normally the time I know I would have to take extra care of myself, because I would have a lot more crises situations with the students or the clients that I was working with. And it was mainly because schools were shut down because of the holiday. A lot of us did enjoy that time off, but that also meant that there was going to be a lot more family time. There was going to be some adjustment. There's probably going to be high expectation to behave or look the part of a happy family. And a lot of my clients didn't really like that. But in the background, parents are stressing out about wanting to afford, joy and merriment and the food and the gifts and all the things that come with having this picture perfect holiday season. And it was a lot of pressure. So can't help but think that's kind of why this guy's probably falling apart this time of the year, because he is running out of options, which happens a lot, like to so many folks. I like how this, I'm not quite sure if he's an enforcer. I'm gonna that's what I'm gonna call him for right now. He asked a very intriguing question. How can you be in finance and you're just making every bad call you can? That is a very fair question. A lot of folks in finance occasionally, it's not again, it's not cause and effect, but there are a lot of times that those in finance don't know how to manage their own personal finance. Things just happen. They think it's going to get better real quick. They just need one quick cash flow. They just need to bet on the right horse. They need to, they just need to buy time. Like they try every which way to just make it work. But what they should have been doing this whole time is manage their money, cut their finance, monitor their expenses, maybe take, if needed, stop investing for a time, liquidate a few things, just slow it down, which is basically what the wife was trying to suggest. Like maybe they are overextended, but this husband just did not want to admit that that's what needed to happen. I think a lot of us have been through that, especially when we are living our lives on credit card debt. It does seem like it kind of is free money. That due date or the statement due date just seems so far off that we just hope we'll figure it out. So yeah, this guy, the fact he's talking to an enforcer I wouldn't be surprised it's for drugs, or maybe he's just trying to look the part for a little bit longer, maybe gas for his car. I don't know. But either way, like he is just thinking short term. That is obviously a cry for help, that he is not able to tap into that clear decision-making part of the brain. He is solely just operating on survival mode and long-term or impulsive control, or any type of decision that could look like that's based in safety and sound mind. That's just not happening right now. He's just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. This guy, because he is affluent, it shouldn't happen to him, but it is. And I think now he's starting to realize like he can't outrun it for long. This guy was binging. I know people look at binging with alcohol or drugs, but this was a binge. He went to the casino, he won money, then he went to the strip club. He almost lost all of the money. Why would you put it under the seat like that? That makes no sense. And then he went back to the casino to replicate probably that high or that dopamine that he felt when he did win all the money. And then now he's leaving the casino, most likely in the morning. This is kind of the cycle of addiction. You lose track of time, you make impulsive decisions, you're just not really in there. He, toward the end, obviously bloody face, black eye, probably should have been in bed and probably should have been home with his wife, nice clean sheets and all that, but nope, he's at the casino just trying to bet on black, just spiraling out of control. And this is what, especially with gambling addiction, does. You just can't help but think like, okay, I just need one lucky break. I just need one more win and I'll be set. But when the next win doesn't come, you just keep betting. Yeah. I've never worked with gamblers. I don't know much about that particular addiction. My experience has always been substance abuse, mainly alcohol, cannabis, and around the time like Oxy, around the time I was practicing that. But you see similar behaviors, which is like, I can't stop myself but thinking of the next decision, and anything after that. Because again, I'm working with teens, that impulsive thinking, that critical thinking skills just isn't quite fully developed. So I can't help but think like with this guy, thinking of the next best thing just wasn't happening at that point because he was just focusing on the next win. So that character is so intriguing. I do get the sense like he is having a hard time figuring out like what type of man he wants to be. Yes, he is a financial guy. Yes, he has the beautiful country wife, the country rose, as the wife put it. He's a father. He is gaining some prominence in the area that he's living in. He owns this pub. I'm not quite sure what it was, but this local area that people frequent, and he has no real passion or desire to want to own it, but I think he believes this will elevate him in some way. And he is drowning in all of this debt. It's not easy to get to that point, but once you're in it, once you're in that pit, it is very hard to get out of. I really like the quote the wife said, it is easy to raise strong boys than to fix broken men. I think that is a very true thing for certain men who are coming of age in the 21st century, because for the longest time, they could say off-color jokes and get away with it. They could make whatever decision they want, be oppressive, abusive, or whatever, and no one would question them because that was the norm. Nowadays, you have men who feel a little displaced or believe like they are being oppressed. I don't think it's that simple of what's happening, but basically there are just certain men who don't know what to do with themselves because they have this outdated notion of what men need to be or look like or sound like. Do they still need to be breadwinners? Yeah, in the Latinx community that I'm a part of, men are looked to as, oh, you make money, so you must be good at saving money or spending money or whatever. But in my personal family, the women were more in charge. The men were always kind of like catered to, like, here's your allowance, go have fun type of thing. Breaking things down in a way where, the women kind of made the big decisions. Was it always right? Not really. In an ideal setting, it would be both parties coming together and saying, like, this is what we need to do and come at it as a team, which I think the wife was trying her best to do with her husband, but he just didn't want anything to do with that. He wanted everything to be under his control. And that is really what gambling addiction is about. You lose sight that not everything is in your power. There is this really intense notion that with magical thinking or ritualistic thoughts or even like OCD, that if you line everything up in a certain way, it'll work and you will feel or come out in a certain way. And the world doesn't work like that, especially with gambling. You never know what's going to happen there. But there are just some guys who have this superstition that if they wear their socks a certain way or bet on certain numbers or bet on certain horse names, like, they will come out better and they will win and everything will be okay. But again, with gambling, it's always a game of chance. But these guys, some folks, like, they just have this notion, like, no, I feel it and I know I will win, manifest, the, abundance thinking type of thing. And I've seen it get kind of troublesome for a lot of folks. Like, the magical thinking turns into delusion. And it is my job as a mental health therapist trying to ground the person to realize, like, okay, yes, we need to focus on the things we can control, but this aspect, this is not in your control, and we need to learn to accept that. We need to accept, like, it is what it is. And so what do we do? What is the next thing that is in your power? Because this is not it. The next decision has to be in your power. It is very hard to get to that point. So, yeah. This wife has her work cut out for her because he is a very broken man. I do get the sense he doesn't believe in mental health. He doesn't understand the impact of words, or that his way of talking to people is very detrimental to someone's mental health or just someone's well-being. And that he is also alienating himself from an option like mental health to actually address the problems that he's facing. He's more than willing to go to the strip club and spend X amount of dollars, but he's not willing to spend whatever it costs an hour to talk to a therapist, and he'll probably save money in the end with the amount that he's spending, but he just doesn't see the investment in it. So yeah, if that's where he's at toward the end of the season, then yeah, this wife has a very interesting life ahead of her. I think if I had to choose, like, she would be more my client. I would learn to or teach her how to empower herself, set these boundaries with her husband, try to get her to, if needed, set up a safety plan for herself. So if she needs to leave or just, tap into her own emergency fund, she has that option instead of giving it all to this husband who just will burn right through it. And we'll just have honest conversations of what type of relationship she wants with her husband, because there is a baby involved. And industry, interesting. I felt tense at times. I felt like, that's not going to end well, or that's really graphic. I could see why HBO did not want me to screen record, because I don't think YouTube would want me to post that. But yeah, it's finance world is very interesting. Yeah, this makes me want to watch Wolf of Wall Street now. So who knows? Maybe that'll be the next thing, if it's available on streaming. Get on it, guys. But yeah, if you liked what you saw here, I'm more than happy to try and do this again. I've loved watching new TV shows and movies. I love talking about it. So, and especially ones that have to do with money, because it is an interesting thing that isn't really explored. But yeah, this character, I think we're supposed to hate him. I don't hate him. I feel so sorry for him. But I did like the fact that the wife kind of, kicked him while he was down a little, and he deserved it. But either way, I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe, leave a like. More than happy if you leave a comment. I will respond. But yeah, this was great, and I hope to do this a little more often. So yeah, if anything, thanks for stopping by. See you next time.